Welcome to our show today. We are covering the gas shortage. No shortage of, there's some gas shortages happening on the East Coast. What else is coming? Are you ready for what else may occur? That's what you need to be worried about today. So let's do this. Join us. Wonderful show today. Welcome to our show. Glad to have you guys here. Let me just set things up. I haven't been broadcasting in quite some time, so everything's a little disheveled here with all the mad work a mad scientist like me does, getting things ready, and especially now that NFTs have taken over the planet. Too bad we can't say the same with some sense and less hacking going on, where everyone is suffering now. Well, at least quite a number of people this morning suffering the long lines. Now, this morning I went out to get some gas. Now, I knew about 2 days ago about the pipeline business, see, but I didn't get gas until this morning. I figure, I had some time to play with. But this morning there was long lines at my local gas station here in Florida. Now we're in Orlando, Florida, and so we had of course, whenever you have a line and tight spaces, you have these drivers that are losing their mind. It seems like they forget how to drive. They're an older gentleman. You guys look silly out there. You really do. I mean, you're old enough to know how to drive. I mean, I could drive a truck through the space that this guy had to get out, simply. Oh, the guy's going nuts because I'm coming in there's only two ways to get in the gas station. I'll explain why. This gas station is a Wawa. Had a lot of ways to get in. Okay, but this morning it was only like two ways to get in this Wawa. And this guy's freaking out in his car because, he's trying to pull out of the gas pumps, and he sees my car, coming in the opposite direction. And I'm not the only one. I mean, there's cars all around. Everywhere you look, there are cars. In, out, coming in, this way, that way. So that's the picture. And so in this picture, this older gentleman, I think he was a gentleman, you would assume he would be a gentleman, he's freaking out in his car. I said, listen, what do you expect? There's only two entrances and exits. They're the same. There's only two ins and outs in this gas station. Okay? You're going to have to deal. When you got in, it wasn't that it started after you got there. It wasn't like you got into the gas station and it was empty. And then now you're trying to get out. Oh, I gotta get out of here. Well, it was that way when you got there. So, like, what? Surprise! It's ridiculous. Some people, you guys, you see, this is the problem. You know what's the number one problem you guys have is that you're impatient and dumb on top of that. The one thing is to be impatient, but the other thing is to be stupid and dumb. It's really, that's what'll mix you guys up. You guys can't survive. I think that the being able to survive emergency situation requires a little bit, just a little bit. You got to use the noodle, okay? You guys get upset with video games or get stuck, and you're going to have to deal with life when things get stuck. Like what's happening now with the oil or the gas line hacked by Russian hackers. Not that the government is involved. Biden was quick to say it wasn't Putin. It's just bad actors. They happen to be Russian, so they're there. I mean, so they need to deal with it. This is what the latest report came out with. But that the FBI knows the group, or they know who is involved, or the group that's involved. So that's, we'll see what happens there. But in any case, you guys can't survive. If we have an emergency situation, you guys need to be calm and cool, and be expecting certain things. Now, when I went to the gas station this morning, I expected a long line. I expected this, especially since I didn't go. My original idea was to go last night. You see, when everybody is, that's when I do my moves. While all y'all are asleep, Rosado is on the move, okay? I'm doing stuff, okay? That's when I do. I know what to do. So like the last time there was a hurricane barreling down into central Florida, and my wife was going, we gotta go. I said, well, we ain't gonna go with all this line straight from Miami. There's a solid line of traffic all the way through Florida. We're not gonna move and try to get through that. Especially, we didn't have a full tank of gas. And there was gas shortages along the way. I said, I'm going to wait till the sun goes down. And when the sun goes down, and it's late at night, that's when the Rosado makes his move, okay? So that's what we did. We actually, it was the night right before the hurricane hit, and everybody who was leaving Florida left. They were trying to get through on that traffic on the I-4. And it's nighttime, so I know most of the people don't want to drive at night. They can't drive, or they're afraid of driving at night. So, that's when I make my moves. When other people are afraid to move, that's when I'm moving. Okay, I get the advantage like that. And we left Florida. We found gas, thank God. We packed up that car. We spent the day packing up the car, making it emergency ready, having the car, with food and things we can cook if we get stuck, because it was one of my concerns was we would get stuck without gas. So how do we survive? So we had, we got the barbecue thing going there, and the supplies and what food we're going to have if we get stuck on the road. So we had all that ready to go right at the end. We put those things in because those would be the first things we would need to get in case we did get stuck without any gas. So, and we left, man. And but the happiest thing for me was seeing that I-4 moving like regular. It's like open, clear road. And we hightailed out of Florida, and we were on our way to New York, and that's how we spent the hurricane that hit that Florida. It didn't do damage. There was no electrical power outage where we lived, thankfully. But in any case, I wasn't going to deal with two storms: the outer storm and then the inner storm. Those who are married know what I'm talking about. Okay, so again, level-headedness, preparedness helps you to be level-headed, to be calm. I thought you have to think about things before they happen, before you get stuck. Think about it. So today I'm inviting each one of you listening and viewing this program to think about it. Today's your day. Let's think about this thing. Gas shortage, emergency situation, catastrophe. Are you ready? What are you going to do? What is your plan? Do you have a plan of survival? Is your family able to survive? If you don't have, there's no more food in the supermarket. The no power. If you have no power, you're going to lose that food. You're going to have a day or two of frozen foods, which you're going to have to consume first. And then after that, what? So we've done a series of emergency preparedness videos way back. And I think before, when the pandemic had gotten started, we did a few videos. And we told you, I've been hearing people say that they have some stock and some supply. And I keep hearing the same mistakes you guys do all over and over again. You guys don't listen. You don't follow instruction. What happens? See, you guys store food, and then you're throwing out food. That's what's been happening since the last time, because you're not using the food the right way. You're not storing things in the correct manner. In my videos, I taught you how to use the kitchen cabinets as like a factory line, like a production line. This is your food feeding line in your home. You buy things to replace. See, you guys are buying things to eat this week. When you go to the store, you're supposed to be buying things to replace what's moving in your storage. You see, that's what most people aren't doing that. You're going out shopping for this week, and the things you're buying from the store this week, you're consuming this week. That is the big mistake. That means that you really don't know what you're doing. So if you're doing that, stop that. Okay, you gotta start using your reserve. You're living through your reserves, and you're shopping to replace the reserves. In other words, to move everything forward. You look at it as a production line, right? You have your storage, and let's just say this is the kitchen. This is your kitchen cabinets, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 cabinets, let's say. Just say. This is your storage, and all of this is your storage, okay? Now, you're supposed to be, and this is an extension of your storage, but it is the day-to-day consumption. It's still storage, but you're using the day-to-day. Each cabinet is the 3 meals. You see, it's coming from the day-to-day storage from your kitchen cabinets. In my videos, I showed you why you need to use your kitchen cabinets in that fashion. It has to do with you not being home and the kids are there waiting for mommy and daddy, what may never come. That can happen. Things have to be in order so that they can survive. There's reasons for this. So I thought this all through and I presented it in my videos. Great stuff. You organize yourself so that you're living from your cabinets like most people do today. But what they're doing is that you're shopping to fill up these cabinets. See, and the storage is still here, month after month after month. That's not what you're supposed to do. We're supposed to take everything's supposed to move through to the cabinets. See, that's the way it's supposed to work. So that at any time when an emergency happens, see, you have your line. Your food is still coming in, and whatever you did your last shopping is over here. It's fresh. This is fresh stuff. Still has to move through, and as I recommended, at least 2 months. It has to go through from your storage into your cabinets. It will take at least 2 months once you have it filled out, according to what I suggested in my previous videos. You will have 2 months of food. Your children, if you are separated from your kids, the kids are at home, they don't know anything, they're trying to survive. You have set everything up so that they can survive, family members, whatever, community, they can survive for 2 months before they have to vacate, because then these supplies have been extinguished. I've also discussed the extended storage for things that can be stored for an extended period of time. We explained what that would look like and where that could be, right? But in the bottom line, if things don't fix up like in 2 months, that's pretty much done. If they don't fix themselves in 2 months. Now, to talk a little bit about that, once you have your 2 months supply and you have the order, you have to keep that order going, okay? Going through the cabinets, remember. See, once you have that 2 months, then you're supposed to be developing a plan B, or the second phase, which is the longer term or moderate term survival plan, which would mostly involve moving, because usually if 2 months have gone by and where you're at has not restored itself to any sense of normalcy, or at least that you can survive, you need to relocate, simply. And it may be a precursor to things really going bad around you, so you really need to move out. You need to move from where you're at. And in other cases, or in other situations, scenarios where there was no plan B or second phase, you're going out to hunt. You're going out to find food. And for many folks out there, that hunting is going to involve hunting the human species, not animals, to get food from their homes and whatnot. Now, you guys say, that's so negative. It's so appalling. Listen, when things shut down, it's an issue of survival. And those who know will survive. But those who haven't prepared, they're going to do stupid. and they don't care because the bottom line is them and their family or their kids, or you and your family and your kids. So who's going to win the day? Simply the one who, is able to overcome or overwhelm the other. That's the bottom line, folks. So again, the only way you can survive that civilly and intelligently is to have a second plan, a second phase, which involves moving away from, especially if you're in a populated area. Because if you're in a populated area, chances are that more of that silliness is what's going to happen. So you need a plan. Everyone should have another place where you're going to go. Okay, that other place would have long-term reserves, other types of food that you're not changing every so often, but you need to do that. Even once you start having this other place, you need to change out what you have there. So it has to be well thought out, because you can't just store things and just forget it. But there are things that you can store and forget, and that will help you on a long-term basis. So again, this is things that you have to think about. And we'll be talking more about that in future videos I do on this emergency issue. But you need to have another place, yours, another piece of property, home, a piece of land where, you have some sheds on there, maybe a mobile home or whatnot. You have somebody renting there, whatever, but it's your place. It's you own the place, where you can store your second phase survival stores, food and survival items. You may even, and this is what I would do personally, is have my guns and rifles, things like that, for survival there, because I can't have them here in the city, or with the children that we have in home. Certain we do foster care and things like that, so we can't have arms here, but I can have them someplace else. So we can, that would be your place to go. See, and if things go down in a way that forces you to have to move, you're going to need a weapon at that time. That is pretty much people going to start getting desperate, right? Especially if you've been surviving for 2 months where you're at, in place, and still society has not restored a food chain. You are in a pickle, and you're going to have something to defend yourself and your family. So just simply, that's your second phase. That means things are getting worse. I have a third phase, which is actually leaving the country, and that is something you have to decide on before leaving the country becomes quite an impossible feat. So that's basically, when you go out to that second phase, you have to be thinking, how is this going to keep panning out, and if it makes better sense for you to make your final stand elsewhere on the planet, as opposed to where you're at now, whatever country that is. So the third phase would be something outside, according to my recommendations. Now, I know someone else who is doing a triangular type of thing, where they have 2 other properties, different states, and so they have actually a third option. So if they have to abandon their homestead where they live, they have another option. And then if that one falls through, they have a third option, and that's pretty much all they have, as far as they have confided with me. But the thing is that, you see, I always look at, there will be some type of scenario where you may want to leave entirely the country, And there are scenarios where that will become necessary. And it's good if you can do that second phase, and then the third out of country would be a, a possible option, a good option. Again, something that has to be decided early enough, but also if it's needed, depending on what caused the outages and the problem in the country or in the region that you're in. So some things may not be necessary, but a third phase that's out of the country. But in either case, sensible thinking does include a third phase, a third move. So these are things that you have to be conscious of. Also, you don't know what the issue is, and the second phase may be compromised. In other words, for you getting from point A to point B, your second phase may be an impossibility, but maybe you can go to 3. So the third one is basically a doubling of the second one. And it's just in case, and it really should be in a different part of the country. It's just in case going to your second phase is physically impossible through civil unrest, through the danger, whatever it is. Maybe it can't, or maybe that was destroyed. Maybe it got taken out by a flood or by a storm, so that's gone, right? So then all you have is that other place. So it's smart to have a third in country, different part of the country, and then it's even better still to have a fourth, which is outside of the country altogether, and that will give you another option in certain scenarios. And there's ways, again, to maintain these stores, to have them managed and watched and all that. But, for most of you guys, you're not going to be thinking that far ahead, and you're not, saying it can't be all that bad. And like I said, we hope that it never gets that bad. But even if I'm a Bible teacher and all that, so even the Bible tells me that it's going to get that bad. So it's a matter of time. What the Bible doesn't tell you is when, but it is going to happen. So if you're going to be thinking, well, this will never happen, that's not true. It will. The question is, will it happen in your lifetime? That's always been the question. And I always look at things as are the possibilities of you doing something about it present. Because it's like Noah and the ark. Was there a way, is it impossible that the earth can get flooded? And you would say, nah, man, the earth can't all get flooded. You would think that. But what makes me say, it is possible that it's coming, is knowing that Noah had a plan to build an ark. And the fact that there was a technology, even if it came from God gave him the plans, but just the fact that it is possible for you to do this, to have an ark, to build a boat that will float on water, and then there's an idea that maybe there'll be a flood one day. Just the existence of that possibility makes it something that may happen. And really thinking about it, you can't just say, oh, that'll never happen. It never happened before. Because, like some people don't believe in God. They don't believe in a God. But believe that there is a possibility of building something that would resolve a situation that you feel now that it's impossible. And that tells me that if there is a solution, God or no God, there's a way out of that scenario. There's a way for me to prepare for XYZ scenario, even though most people think it's not possible. Then it is possible that scenario can happen. And just simply, if you want to be smart and intelligent, you should prepare for it. Hope it never happens, but you should be prepared for it. Okay, so we got lines. What's happening in the news is that we got East Coast problems. Let's take a look at the screen. I haven't done these broadcasts in these shows in some time, so forgive me any issues with the displays here as we're already having. Let's see. Let's see what the problem is with you. Okay, and you. It may be the issue that is doubled here, so just let me. Okay, bravo, there you go. So here we see that the South is being the hardest hit. This is an article today at CBSNews.com. Drivers start scrambling for gas as pipeline shutdown continues. So again, these are some images of some gas stations all along the eastern seaboard. Like I explained to you earlier in this broadcast, I went through something, wasn't that bad, but it was a little bit tense as people start freaking out this morning as I got my gas tank filled. Now, something else I want to say about this morning, though, in all truth, I don't think this morning's was gas pipeline shortage related. Okay, why do I say that? Because and you know, this guy freaking out again. It shows you the danger you're in. You and your family are in great danger because of stupid. The other guy, stupid, okay? But anyway, because half the gas station, half of the Wawa, the parking half, really, basically all of the parking spaces are on one side of the Wawa, okay? Wawa is, those who don't know, it's a gas station with a food thing together. So everyone goes there for breakfast, lunch, and now even dinner. You pick it up. There's some seats there, or you just take it home. For those who don't know what a Wawa is, and there's gas. Obviously, it is a gas station. So, I hear now. I went to Pennsylvania last week when I went to New York for my mother's 87th birthday, and I went to the first Wawa I've ever gone to that is no gas station. So I stand corrected. So now Wawa is by itself a food place. You can pick up little grocery items there, but mostly snacks and sandwiches and things like that. So anyway, so since all the parking spaces are gone because they're resurfacing, say you would think anyone driving on the road sees these cars all backed up. They see that the gas station, the other entries that you have normally are shut, they're closed off, roped off, and they have the cones on there. What would you think? You would think, oh my God, we're already affected here in Florida. There's no gas. That's exactly what you would think. And it's the first thing that hit my mind also when I came driving up to the gas station. But I couldn't believe it because to get to the Wawa, I had to pass two other gas stations. Simply, I prefer to go to the Wawa instead of those other two. You know, those are the other two, a little smaller corner type of gas stations, and I really don't frequent them at this point in time. I always go to the Wawas, to the larger gas stations. So I said, that is strange. I passed by all the two gas stations. Everything looked normal. And now I come to the Wawa. I said, well, if these two guys are normal here, then the Wawa should be fantastic. When I hit the Wawa, then it's closed off and all this. Oh, my God. But, yeah, in closer inspection, when I got into the tense area, It was that they were resurfacing. I don't know why they chose the day to do that, but they were resurfacing the parking lot and the half of the gas bays. The crew was out there pouring that what they call that the sticky black stuff, tar or whatever it is, and resurfacing the gas station there. So you guys really picked the time for this. And anyway, it wasn't much of a big traffic issue outside of the gas station. So it wasn't like there was like lines like you see on the CBS report. I'm sure other people are not having that experience. They're having a terrible experience. As you can see in the video here, if you go to CBS, you'll be able to see their video on what exactly is happening in other parts. And they say that even Florida, it's starting to happen in Florida. Again, in Orlando, it is, well, at least in Davenport, it isn't yet happening here, except for that Wawa on the Osceola Polk line, which is doing a resurfacing there and basically making it look like it's the end of days. Okay, so again, why is this being caused? It was caused by a ransomware attack. What is a ransomware attack? A ransomware attack is a computer hack where an entity, a hacking entity, in this case a Russian group, discovers a weakness and takes advantage or gains advantage in a computer. By the way, that your computer may be infected. My computer may be infected. The only reason that you're not seeing anything happening on your computer is that you're nothing, you know. I mean, you don't got anything that's, they're looking for the biggies, but I'm pretty sure they're like a lot of little things, doors that they open and they see, well, is this computer important or it's not an important computer, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sure that type of thing's going on, phishing for for advantages here and there. And they found their way into this company's computer system. Now, this is the problem with system centralization. You've heard a lot about it. Excuse me. I get the air on here. You've heard a lot about this in regards to the blockchain. Why is the blockchain important? You heard the blockchain, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. See, what most people know about cryptocurrency is the money issue, the investing or the speculative issue. Bitcoin, it used to be $1, now it's $50,000, et cetera, et cetera. But what is not talked about a lot, and what you guys are not realizing, most of you, is that the cryptocurrency is on a blockchain. They created a blockchain which represents a harder or hardened method of communication and particularly of verification. This company, it does the same purpose or function that this company requires to control its pipeline. The only difference, because it checks, am I supposed to open here? Is it supposed to switch over here? Is the oil supposed or gas supposed to be flowing through at what rate and all that? So all those switches and on and offs are controlled by a centralized software for that company, the gas company. But they have it centralized. It means they have total control and exclusive control over the system. So if they get hacked, which they did, then someone else takes control of the pipeline, which is what happened. Now, why did I mention the blockchain? Because effectively the blockchain would resolve this issue. And companies need to be looking at this, because you guys need to be looking at a plan B. Plan B. If our centralized system gets hacked or compromised, what is our plan B? And the plan B should be always to have a decentralized failsafe, so that if something fails on the centralized system, then it goes to a default mode on a decentralized system. So in essence, it escapes the hackers' control. The hackers no longer have control because something did not check right, right? And or the guy with the key says, no, this isn't right. Someone else is controlling this. So he takes the key and switches the system over to a decentralized blockchain default. And what would happen is that all the controls would then go to a default setting on the blockchain. So it will go and verify, where am I supposed to go, how much oil, gas is supposed to go through, what's supposed to happen, and blah, blah, blah. And it would automatically go, and that's it. The ransomware will be blah, nothing, because the company went and the system went off the centralized system and into a hack-free default on the blockchain. And so again, and where is it? It's everywhere. It's anywhere. It's everywhere. It's so because the blockchain is duplicated all over the place in different nodes, etc., etc. So it has a continuous presence and not a single location where a hacker can gain entry. And if they do gain entry in one of the areas, that area is shut down by the others because it doesn't hit the consensus. It's not agreed by the other computers in the world that that's what the default is. No, all of us, 99 of us, have this as the default, and you're the only one with this little thing in here. That's different. That's not good. So it's rejected. That's what the blockchain does. So it basically protects itself through consensus, through the agreement of all the other computers on the in the world that are providing the backup of the default system to make it more understood by y'all. So, and that would resolve this issue. This issue, again, is a failure of companies to go into the blockchain. You really do need to move into the blockchain, everybody. Okay, that includes you as an individual, by the way, but I have other videos to talk about that. If you're not dealing with the blockchain, you are a Neanderthal at this point. I know people get upset, they get triggered by that, but the reality is that yes, you are not just old-fashioned, but you are a fossil. You really need to move along. Let's get moving along and get into the blockchain, but let's stay with this emergency issue. So this issue here would be resolved with the blockchain. And I'm sure Hutchinson of the Cardano fame, Ada, will be doing a video any moment. He has to do something on this shortage. I'm sure of it, and how Cardano will help this situation. But in truth, any of the blockchains can help this situation. Just simply the companies need to just move into it. Don't do Ethereum. Ethereum is already a gas. You don't want to pay gas if you're in the gas business. I wouldn't do that. But there's other blockchains that you can use to safeguard your systems. And I think all the other systems people are using out there, governments and private companies, you should be already exploring and testing blockchain redundancies. That would be what it is, redundancy. Not that you just transfer into the blockchain altogether, into the blockchain, but that you have redundant systems, redundancies for your software and controls in the blockchain. And that, you know, the same sense that in NASA they have the 3 computers on the ships, you know, the starships, whenever you had the You always talked about the three computers. That always stuck with me. The three computers had to agree for something to go on. And if one computer didn't agree with the other two would ignore that one computer because obviously something was wrong with that computer. That's the basic idea of what the blockchain does. It goes by consensus. At least if there's two computers that are agreeing, then that's all right. Now, so at any time, if there's two computers that agree, then that must be more truer than the one that's disagreeing. You understand? So that's the idea. That's why you needed three, not two, because if one agreed and one disagreed, what did you do? Well, you have to go have another opinion, and that other opinion will give you the two over the one. So, and that is the basic baby in blockchain idea. All right, so again, Biden, looking at, telling people don't get panicked, don't panic, don't start hoarding gas like they did the toilet paper. Of course, people are not going to do hoarding like that, and there are some people who have the ability to hoard gasoline. It's a dangerous prospect, but they can. There's people who have tanks and things, and they would do that. I mean, but the thing is, you fill up your tank. So he's not telling you not to fill up your tank, but not to hoard gasoline. Let everyone get a good tank of gas. So I already got my gas this morning, and I advise if everyone, you should just go out easy, go to the lesser known places. Don't try to compete for that central gas station in your city. Go out to the outlying parts, and get your gas calmly. Call your friends. You got some gas? Where is it? The lines aren't too busy. Call them up so they can go get the gas there. I mean, that'll help even the people who don't have friends any other place. Because you got everyone jamming up on these gas stations when there's one that has gas and they're open. So everybody, you guys need to help each other. Again, don't get frustrated, don't get tense. It's important that you have community, that you have people, you can contact each other. Everyone that's not affected up north, you should be getting gas. This thing is affecting even to New Jersey, and New Jersey is just a stone throw away from New York. So if I were y'all, I would just fill up on the gas. I know you got 3/4. Get the other quarter. And that's the other thing I want to talk about is why are you driving around with a quarter missing in your gas tank? These days, you shouldn't be doing that. Even half a gas tank. So some of you wait till it's down a quarter. It's dumb. You should never have less than 3/4 of a gas tank. There is no way that you should have ever less than 3/4 of a gas tank. It's a bad habit to do that. Always go home with a full tank of gas. It's just as simple as that. You put in a full tank of gas. Always have those $5, $10 before you get home. Fill the tank with gas, because you don't know what's going to happen the next morning. Okay, and it's better that you are all ready than, oh, now I have to go get gas because now we may have to leave, and then there's, you guys are getting ready to get trapped. You guys get yourselves ready to get trapped. Fill up your gas tanks. Maintain them full. Same thing with your food storage and your cabinets. They should always be full. It should never be empty. Anything. Nothing should be ever empty in your home. Like I said, when you go shopping every week, it's to replace this, to put it back on the food line, right? The food storage line that goes through the cabinets in the kitchen, right? That's where it goes. And the refrigerator. The only thing that you don't store is the perishables, the kitchen, the refrigerated stuff, because they won't. You can't really store them long, right? But they need to be cold. Milk and stuff like that. But even milk, you can get powdered milk, and you should have it in your stores, in your storage. And other things that you can store away should be stored away, even frozen. You can freeze eggs and things like that. These things you can store and freeze. So you have more of a supply if the supermarket should have to shut down for any reason. Now, what else can happen more than this gas thing? If they can gain control to this gas pipeline, they can gain control to the electricity, the electric grid. They can shut down the electricity to your home, to your community. That means the supermarket will have no power. That means the meat, it means the vegetables that need the coolness to stay fresh, dairy products, and frozen foods. All of those things will perish. They will not be able to sell them to you because they will be perished. They're gone. They're done. And so all you have, you won't have it either in your home. Now, some people have generators, and that's fine. But you need to be able to live without power. Do you know how to do that? What will you be doing? So there's a whole lot of things that you guys need to prepare for. This is the time to think about it. Okay? Think about preparing. Don't think about, no, this will be over. Because one of these days it won't. Even during the COVID issue, there was a time where the meat was in peril of not showing up on your supermarket shelves and refrigerators. The meat packers had to close down because of the COVID issue. We still having problems between China and the COVID thing. There's still certain manufacturing niches, certain products that you cannot get, very hard to get, and that's because of distribution line interruption. A lot of things can happen. You have this Suez Canal thing that was tied up for days, and that caused disruption in supply line. And in the United States, we have a delivery method, distribution is on time. It's called on time delivery, which means that everything is set to arrive at the supermarket just in time for them running out from the last delivery. So it's basically, it's very sensitive. What it means is that everything is very sensitive. So any type of disruption, anything, will cause a supermarket to lose its supplies. And that means that when you go to the store, I'm giving everyone a warning now. This is a warning right now. There's the Publix has no yogurt. It's Publix yogurt. It's gone. The Publix yogurt. Out of all the yogurts, I like the Publix yogurt. The vanilla. The vanilla yogurt is disappeared off the shelves. They do not have it. I don't know what that means. Since I've gotten back from New York, they have had none of the Publix yogurt, vanilla yogurt. They have the other things. They have them. But the vanilla yogurt, for some odd reason, is totally gone. And I've been back from New York for a good 14 days now, and still that's outright never heard of it. Every week I would go to the Publix, I would find the yogurt. I had no problem getting 2, 3, 4 yogurts at a time That's what that's one of my things I'm eating, my dietary perks right now. So that's what I would get. And now for the last 2 weeks, no yogurt. And I think even before I left to New York, there was no yogurt. I think that started happening even before I left to New York. Outrageous. I've had to get Yoplait. So I got the Yoplait there, and it has this almost the same consistency, which I like, of the Publix yogurt. It's just such a frivolous thing. But the issue is that I don't know why. Why wouldn't they have the vanilla flavored yogurt? And I noticed about a month or two ago where they did change the yogurt. Whoever makes their yogurt, they changed over from the Yoplait style, which is a nice, smooth, creamy, but light yogurt in consistency. And they got into the Greek one because the Greek is very tough. It's a more thicker and richer yogurt, which is it's if you love yogurt, it's fine, but I don't like it. I like the nice, easy flowing Yoplait style, because when I had to buy the Yoplait now, I found out that the Yoplait is more like the Publix. I'm thinking that the same company that does the Yoplait USA yogurt is the same one the Publix is using to have theirs. Probably the same company, and they just put the different containers on. Is my suspicion, because it is exactly the same consistency. The other yogurts aren't. The other yogurts have their different. It's not like a Dannon. A Dannon is slightly more thicker than the Publix and the Yoplait. But the Greek thing is just out of my preference. It's a good yogurt. I'm not putting down the Greek yogurt. It's just too thick. I like the more smoother and lighter Yoplait, and then the Publix, but no Publix vanilla. So anyway, but it's a frivolous thing, but at the same token, it just shows that there's something going on. So what else can go wrong? My goodness. No, now there's no gas. But the yogurt thing is really as a deal breaker, isn't it? Okay, so but the thing is this: are you ready to survive? Are you and your family ready to survive? This is the thing. I got some links down where you, if you're seeing this on social media, those links. You have to be prepared. There's some links for the emergency preparedness program, which we have, and also the farm program. That you don't need land to have a farm. You can own a farm today without owning land and without getting your shoes muddy. You can actually have a farm that's actually producing food for you and your family. So you may not look at it as an emergency, but having your own farm when something happens is a good thing to have. So we have the farm program and we have the emergency program. Both of them are very, very similar. In fact, they're the same. The only difference is that there's different. The farm program is it's income for you. It produces income also for you. While the emergency program, it just provides food. It brings home, it delivers to your home groceries, food, so that you can put into storage or use it day to day. And when there is an emergency, it continues as much as it possibly can do in your local area to deliver food to you. Now, as long as they can deliver it. Now, when things are not deliverable, then you can always go and pick it up. But it should always be available to you in times of an emergency. So those two programs are programs that you guys should be looking into and getting involved with. Again, these are ideas that you can implement now that will make sure that you have a better standing when things go wrong. Being able to survive, being able to provide food for your family so that they can make it for at least 2 months, and if not more. With the farm program and the emergency program, both of them, they will both provide you with food in emergencies, and more than just 2 months worth. By the way, that those can provide permanent sustenance for you and your family throughout a long, long period. So you really should be looking into that, and then um, and participating in those. That would be a smart thing to do. If especially if you're not going to, if you don't have a second place, a land someplace else, or a third, and you can't even imagine leaving the country, or as a third or fourth option, then you really should be looking into the farm owners program that we have, and or the emergency owners program. Also, it's the same thing. It's just simply one pays you money, income from the farm produce that it produces, and the other simply just stores food for you and delivers to your home. So that's the thing. But both of them, in a time of emergency, will provide your family with sustenance. So there's great programs that we have. So I want to encourage you to start looking into, if you haven't done so, finding ways of surviving long term, because what's going to happen, we've been given the COVID, like I said, God gave Noah the plans to the ark. So you got to understand what's happening here. See, otherwise, the flood would never have happened. It would never happen, assuming there was a God, because God just wouldn't like drop everyone off like that. Okay, he's just merciful God. So always let somebody prepare and survive. So the fact that Noah got the plans for Noah's Ark, that man, it's going to happen, boys. So here you go. I have the plans for the farm owners. So you can own a farm without having the land or having a physical farm, but you do have a farm, what we call farm modules or units that you can own, and then you can provide your family with sustenance and income. Farm owners unit. And then we have the emergency owners unit, which is the same thing, with producing the same produce, but the difference is that instead of you making income from it, you just get stores of food. So this food is stored on site and also delivered on a weekly basis to your home. Now, the farm owner in our program receives also food to their home at certain times, but also especially when there's an emergency. When there's an emergency, the supermarkets run dry. All the owners, even the farm owners, kick in and receive the produce so they can survive with their family. So either program is an absolute necessity. And you can live in the city, you can live in a high-rise building and still own a farm with our program. So look into that, and that's a way of you being prepared for anything going drastically wrong. And this thing can happen at any time, in any given moment. So I want to encourage you guys to be prepared. Go with your cars full of gas. Do not drive around with a half a tank. You shouldn't be, if you're living in an economic way where money is that tight for you that you have to run out of gas before you can pay for a full gallon. I mean, you're doing yourself a great harm. You need to do something to create income. Probably get the farm owner a program that we have so you can make some income, man, and fill your tank of gas and keep it that way. Do something. So let's get it together. It's not time to be fooling around. And again, if you're not on the blockchain yet, my Lord, mercy, you really do need to get into an alternate money system. get into an alternate money system. Be smart, don't be stupid. There's a lot of stupid stuff going on. Sometimes stupid makes money. I have to tell. In all my life, I've seen that stupid makes money. So you see it now with Doge, the Doge coin, lordy, lordy, lordy. These people made millions. These people made millions of dollars on that Dogecoin, and and in terms of the cryptocurrency world, it was the worst investment you could ever make, because there's really no point in that coin. There's no point in it. So it wasn't something that you really invested in, because this is going to make it. This is going to make. And then look at it now. It's making it, right, because it was so cheap and dirt cheap. People brought millions of that coin, and now it went up 10 times, 20 times, 50 times. So these people are in the money, So that has happened. So it can happen, but usually just going by a more safer, more mainstream investing will get you more than a savings account would. That's for sure. But at least it'll give you another way of paying for something. And everything can get wiped out. Even your bank accounts can get frozen and wiped out, but you'll have that crypto. You see, that's the important thing, to have that crypto, because that's something they can't shut down. Just like the gas pipe. The gas pipe they were able to shut down. That's not like the bank. But if you have crypto on the blockchain, you got something to do. You got money, okay? And you can find somebody, someplace that'll take it and give you what you need. So it's if you don't consider crypto a smart thing to do, look at it as an emergency backup. How is it now as something that you should do? Emergency backup. And there's ways to put in, there's safer ways. There's the stable coins. You don't have to be speculative. You just put it into some USDC or some USDT, and you're saying to me, what is this guy talking about? What is the USDC, USD? Basically, they're stable coins. You've heard of Tether, maybe. These are stable coins, meaning that they pretty much stay at $1. So you put in $1 and they pretty much stay at $1. Sometimes they go down to 99 cents, sometimes $1.01, but it pretty much stays right there. And at least that the money you put in is the money you get out, but it's in a different form. It's in cryptocurrency. So it gives you some latitude to deal with other people who have cryptocurrency. Okay, you got some USDT, you got some stable coin. I'll take the stable coin and you can get this cheese, you can get the bread, the milk, whatever it is. It may come in handy one day, you don't know. But if you're interested in also learning about cryptocurrency, I do a series on crypto for dummies. I used to do it here on Global Mycbh network. We moved our crypto stuff off to the Crypto for Dummies on the YouTube. And not that you're dummies, actually you'd be very smart in subscribing to that channel, because I'm talking about NFTs almost exclusively, and I'm preparing some NFTs for some coins, by the way. Right now I'm in discussions with a new coin that's getting started, and hey, listen, I'm going to get in as the NFT guy there. If they're doing their stuff right, I will be producing NFTs for them. I'm also producing NFTs for a few other coins as well. As the first creator of the first real estate investing NFT, and the first NFT as a game. Not the first game that uses NFTs, because that's what they have all around the place. But actually, my NFT is a game in and of itself. I'm the first one. I'm the creator for that. And I've created the first NFT that's a charity. Now, there's other platforms that use crypto and NFTs for charity, right? But my distinction is that the NFT itself is itself. uh, the main element in whatever I do. So in terms of the charity, uh, uh, that NFT is actually a used to solve the problems, the mission of the charity itself. So again, I have a couple of firsts, as well as those in those respective blockchains where I've created them. I'm the first in those blockchains as well. So basically, everything I've done first is also a first for the blockchain. So that's two firsts that I have. And also the general first of all in all NFT spaces was adding the space that NFT as a game itself, not just an asset. So most people think of NFTs as pictures, graphics. My NFTs are money producing entities in themselves. That's the difference that I've brought into the NFT space. I am the creator of that. I'm the first one to do that. Gilberto Rosal, nice to meet you. So now you know who did that. It's me. Okay. So again, staying ahead of the curve. That's what it's all about here. And so you need to do that to safeguard your family. So don't watch me anymore. Get out there and get your gas. And look into the farm owners program or the emergency owners program that we have, and get that started for yourself and your family. Keep everyone safe. Make up your plans. I'm going to be doing some more videos in the future on creating the extended long-term plans that you should have. And if you're interested in looking for land, I can help you with that. The best thing to do is not just to buy land. If you're going to do Plan B and get a piece of property, look at my real estate links down below, because I have a program that's like the best thing for you. It'll take care of everything for you, but we have to talk, because what I have are separate programs, so that if you just sign into the program and you don't talk to me, you'll just have that program. But for example, I can get you, if you're into NFTs or into cryptocurrency and you want to do something with cryptocurrency, I can set something for you up with that has the NFTs and cryptocurrency, has the real estate investing, okay, that you could be making 6 figures a year. I'm not making up the story. We have a program that creates $104,000 per year. You can have that. Plus, it will have the farm owners module, all the emergency owners module too. That's 3 things. You'll be in crypto. You will be creating a 6-figure income for yourself, and also being a farm owners, have sustenance for you and your family. So I can set something up really nice for you, put all these things together if you purchase your land through me. It's funny, the other guy, I had a guy in one of my workshops the other day. He said, well, I can go and buy land and you know, get some rental money and put it into crypto. And I looked at it and I said, yeah, you could. Everyone can do that. But you just can't make the 6-figure income that I'm going to make for you. It's just simple as that, you know. But some people think they're smart. Again, so listen, I can put these things together if you contact me, and you can sign up for the program and then contact me. Because once you sign up to one of the programs, you'll have access to me. Say, hey, listen, you know, I particularly wanted to do the combination. You know, I wanted to have this and the crypto and the real estate investing and the emergency food or the farm thing. The farm thing gives you more income, by the way, so you may as well do the farm thing, because it gives you emergency as well. So it's the better of the two, really. And you only have to deal with the emergency thing if the farms are all filled up in your location. That's a possibility. And then maybe the emergency slots are still open. So I would go with the farm thing first, because it creates income. Basically, you want money. And if you can get this money and buy some precious metals with it, that's another smart thing. Crypto, have the precious metals, because if everything else fails, some gold, some silver, good for bread. And then and you keep going that way. All right. So again, this is the time to get ready. It's good that nothing happens. It's a good thing. But you know what will happen between now and when you realize nothing happened? You might be rich. It will be the result. I think that's a good way to, err, yeah, on the side of caution. I think that's a good way to go. That's it for today. Thank you. Share it. Share it with your friends. Go get the gas. Get a few rolls of toilet paper. And go visit the links and do something already. Get ready. Take care. Thanks for watching.